Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends opinion. Let's share, collaborate, but most of all, let's fight.
Hello there, Raider. Hopefully you're having a great day. And Mavara, the web diviner, is here. She's finally available in-game through the Fusion. And the Plarium hype man have been hard at work out there testing her. And they say she's a great Fusion that you should be working on and you should get, because she basically turns your team into an ally attack team, and she has good heal, turn meter boosting, and keeps your ally team alive. So let's see what she can do here. Let's take a look. We have the favor ability, right? A strike on my mark level 1. Right? And it's place a favor buff for 2 turns on a random ally except this champion. If the randomly selected ally is already under a favor buff, place it on another random selected ally. Okay. Passive effect. A passive effect on an A1. Nice. Okay. Allies under a favor buff have a 50% chance of joining the attack of other allies under a favor buff. This champion will not join in any attacks. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. This skill will not activate on duplicate copies of this champion if this particular champion is dead. Okay, very nice. So this is the skill that allows your attackers to take additional turns. And here we go. Places a strengthen buff and a 50% increased resistance buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also equalizes the HP levels of all allies. The HP levels of all allies will be brought up to the level of the ally with the highest HP. Nice. Revives an ally with 50% HP, 50% turn meter. Then places a perfect veil buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Also places an unkillable buff on this champion for 2 turns. The buff will be placed even if no allies were revived. Very nice. Let's see this here. For every A buff on an enemy team receives, increases the turn meter of all allies by 20%. For every 16 buffs a champion and their allies receive, heal all allies by 20% of their max HP. And we got a speed aura for speed in all arena battles by 28%. That's pretty good. That's usually what a legendary has on them. Very, very nice champion. You know, that 50% chance for your allies to attack is great. Definitely a champion that you want to build out as soon as you get her. And if you don't have an amazing team for the Tainted Lehman lore, then try her out on the Tainted Lehman lore, because she's going to allow your team to take more turns and therefore do more damage right before you get to the hard stages after stage 20. So, all right. So I have got the only tip for you that you need for this fusion. And no, it is not what fragments to skip here. I can't tell you that because I don't know your schedule. I don't know when you have time to do this or what day of the week you're going to have an emergency and therefore are going to have to miss something. And that is the purpose of having extra shards in a fusion. It is the ability to make up when an emergency interrupts you. All those videos I see about planning to skip something or skip this ahead of, you know, extra fragment coming, I think that's always a bad idea. You know, most of us are adults in this game. We have very busy schedules, and there's a good chance something's gonna happen that's gonna interrupt one of these events, and you can easily miss the fusion. You should always plan to do everything available to you that you can to participate in these events. If you get to the last week of the event and you can see everything on the calendar, and then you say, oh, okay, I have extra fragments here and I can miss one of these, then great, you get to miss something and save resources. That's wonderful. But planning ahead of time to say, oh, I'm not gonna do this. That's always a tip for failure. It's cost me fusions in the past. It's not something that I encourage people to do. However, the only tip that you need to do this fusion and to plan for it correctly is to go outside of the game and visit RSL-X. This website here, this nifty little website, is the best planning tool for your fusion and events and heroes path, or to calculate what resources you need. So we're gonna take a look at it now that we have a fusion in game. Let's take a look. We're gonna go right to fusions 2026 Mavara. Let's see, and here you go. It's up and running. It is your calendar planning for the fusion. It allows you to see, we got a key here, the legend, skip, plan, done, not started. So if you've never been to RSL-X, it's a wonderful site that allows you to plan for your fusions and events in Heroes Path, and then it has a collection of tools to help you within the game. An individual named Swish created this site for us. It is wonderfully designed. It is absolutely beautiful. Ever since I found it, I've been using this site, and it's a good way to come in here and say, oh, I'm gonna start progressing on this event. I plan to progress on this one here. I'm gonna try to do this, and start seeing what you're gonna do. When you do, you can see your progress. Once you start clicking on it, if you click right that you completed these events, you're gonna see your fragments added up in the progress bar, and you can start keeping count of what you have collected. Now, if you click this information icon here, you can actually see a better progress display here, and it shows you what you collected so far, if you have completed on any of the events. Right? If you click skip, it's gonna either deduct it or it's not gonna add it to your progress bar, right? The same thing if you don't click on it at all. And if you are currently progressing through that event, it does not show on your progress bar until it's completely done, which is great. It also goes ahead and tells you the resources you're gonna need for this fusion, right? So you should go and start collecting these items if you don't have them ready. They have chickens. If you don't have chickens and you have champions that you level up during the champion training, always remember to keep enough food champions to be able to finish your fusions and to have these items collected, as well as the silver that you need, because you do need silver to do the fusions, right? So this is a wonderful tool. Look how well displayed it is. I mean, I'm very happy that I found this website and that it's free to use and we all have access to it. If you have never been here, they also do the same thing for the Titan events. You can see the last victorious Titan event that we did. This is actually the planner I use, right? And this actually allows you to see that my progress and my changes on this site are saved. And how are they saved? It's not because I have an account. You don't have to make an account here. It's because anything that you do within the browser, as I understand it, is saved within your local cache. So as long as you don't clear your cache, right, your random memory within the browser, or you are gonna have access to this information. It's going to save it on there for you. Now, I do say that when my computer has restarted, right now I'm utilizing my phone. That's why the browser looks like this. But when I do this on my computer and it restarts, then I do lose the saved data. But otherwise, right, as long as it's saved in your cache, you're going to have access to this data. You're going to see all the changes that you are made, and that's saved locally, not out in some server. It's great. I'm assuming that eventually Switch is going to allow you to make accounts on here and save it. This is also allows you to make a second instance of this by creating a new session, a new account, in case you have two accounts that you're planning to, which is a really neat thing to do here, to allow you to do it twice. They also have, we're going to jump over here and go right to the fusions. They also have not fusions, but Heroes Path. They also have your Heroes Path here for planning. I found the Heroes Path is actually also really good for planning, and it's because unlike the fusions and the Titan event, the Heroes Path, you can really plan the coins that you're gonna be using, right? And the coins that you need, because you can do the entire thing and calculate exactly how much you need. But aside from that, it tells you the resource that you can use for it, right? How many ancient shards it's gonna cost to get this many points, how many void shards, how many primal shards, how many sacred shards, and then you can plan accordingly as to what you have or what you need to get in order to complete a path event. I mean, once again, this is an absolutely beautiful and wonderful tool that someone, another community member, another player has gone out and make available, basically because there is no way to plan effectively within the game, right? Constantly we have to look for third-party resources to bridge the gap on items and information that Plarium just fails to provide. But we have this wonderful site here made by Twitch and another community member. You should be using it. Here are some other tools within the site to help you plan. You have a champion index. I'm in love with this champion index. It's absolutely wonderful. It's actually better than browsing for your champions throughout the game, right? You can see your champion. You have a number of filtering and sorting tools here to sort while you're looking for champions. You can search for the champion. You can click on any champion, right? Especially champions that you don't have. Right, if you're new to the game or you've been playing the game for less than 7 years and you don't have every mythical out there, you don't have every champion, it's hard sometimes to know what some champions do if you're not familiar with them. Well, you can come in here and look at the champions. If you click on them, you get this little display card that tells you their abilities right here, their stats, how many books it takes to level them up, their aura, all the information you need for the champion. I mean, this is absolutely really nicely done here. You can even do this here and hide non-summable champions if you don't want to see those champions that you can summon. You can click on Edward here and look at Edward. It takes 10 books to 10 legendary tomes to upgrade his skills. All right, you can see all his stats. It is absolutely wonderful. And you have a number of ways to filter and to sort that you don't have within game, right? I hope that eventually we're able to make an account and basically upload our current roster to this so that we see the champions that we have and we are able to manage our champions in here rather than in game, because this is a really neat tool and I find it easier to use than in game, just because of the sorting and filtering ability within here. It's much more robust than it is within the game. So please come check out the site, use it. It is a wonderful tool, and support the developer, right? This is one person that's gone out of their way to make a tool to help us manage our daily grind throughout the game. Then you have an efficiency lab. This efficiency lab here is a tool that's gonna help you within the current fusion. Why is that? Because you can come in here and this is what it does. Efficiency lab. So we have a tournament. The tournament right now is Fire Night. There's a Fire Night tournament. That is the first event, the first tournament that you can do for this fusion. And you can come in here and go into normal, stage 20. And if I go to stage 20, I'm gonna go back to the game and I'm going to check out exactly where the milestone is for me to get my fragments. So that is at 2,250 points. That's the milestone to get my fragments. That's how many points I need. So now I'm going to go back to the planning site and I'm gonna put in here target points and I want 2,250. All right, let's get rid of this. And it's gonna tell you how much energy in stage 20 you need in order to get those points, right? The sun estimate But look how great this is. It allows you to calculate more or less how many runs of stage 20 you need, how much energy that's going to cost you, and the equivalent gems for that energy. Now, for me in particular, I already used 300 energy that I had so that I could start collecting energy, and I have some points. So let's see how many points I already have. I have 370, right? That's stage 20. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to put in those 370 points, and it's gonna recalculate this for me because I already used about 300 energy. It's telling me that I still need 1,696 energy or 522 gems to complete. I mean, how wonderful is this tool? And then you can jump around and say, well, what if I did hard and instead of stage 20? Is that more efficient? Let's try that. Let's say hard 5. I'm able to do hard 5. Well, it's definitely not more efficient because I would have to do more energy and more gems to get the same amount of points. What if I go higher on higher, stage 10? Yes, the energy and gem requirement drops down, but it's still more than stage 20. So at the end of the day, according to this estimate, if you went to normal and do stage 20, that's gonna be the most efficient way for you to get your points. And you can test all other stages, see what works for you, right? And what you're doing in game. But this is a wonderful calculator to allow you to really estimate at any given time without having to go and build a spreadsheet in your own for any event that's taking place. And you can make calculations even when things are not running. You can just come in here and calculate how much it would take to get all the points in a deck of fate that you need, how much grinding you need to do with these events. This is an absolutely amazing tool. It's not something that I've seen on any other site that I have visited, so I'm very, very impressed by it, right? And you can even see the actually point key that's displayed within the game for the fusion. I'm very impressed by what Switch has done here. It's absolutely great. The site also has a mercy tracker. Now, a mercy tracker allows you to track how many shards you have open before you hit mercy. Now, the game already tracks this. Plarium should share this information, have it posted on the screen at all times, but they don't, because they prefer to hide information for reasons I will never understand. But here you go, we have a beautifully designed mercy tracker where anytime you open shards, you can come in here and click on it, right? And you're gonna add the number of shards you have opened, and you're gonna keep track before you hit mercy. And the one thing I've seen on here that I haven't seen on other mercy trackers, because there are other out there that you can use, is that you're able to input the last champion that you receive from that shard, and then how many shards you have to open to get to that champion, right? Where your mercy tracker was at when you received that champion. Then you can easily compare when you get it, right? What a wonderful thing to do. This is really well thought out, right? Just more information that you're able to keep on there. It also tracks prison openings. Like I have opened 8 prisms in the time I've been playing the game that I have purchased, and I never got any legendary out of them. So I'm gonna put 8 over here, right? I have opened 5 remnant summons, and I have never gotten anything but an epic from them. I'm gonna put that in my mercy, and currently I haven't opened any sacreds. I've been saving them, right? So this is what my mercy looks like right now, more or less. It's just a wonderful tool to have here and track your mercy. Let's see what other tools we have. We have a miniature farming tool, right? You can put in here how many scrolls you need or what you need to get in order to estimate how much energy or the equivalent in gems is gonna cost you to farm for those scrolls. Really simple, really easy calculator to help you within your game and your daily grind. And then we also have a mastery builder, right? In order for you to plan, remember, once you set your masteries, you only get 1 free reset, and after that it's gonna cost you gems. So you can come in here and sort of get familiar with each of the masters, read them as much as you want, and plan for any champion that you need, and really get good design on your champion and what you're gonna use before you hard set them on your champion, because you're gonna use that reset very quickly when you go into different content, and then it's gonna cost you gems every time you reset your masteries. Finally, we have a community tab here that links you to the Discord that they have for RSL-X. It's a Discord. You can communicate with Switch. You can communicate with other members of the community that are on there. And they even have an area where you can suggest changes to the site and things that you would like to see next. You can also see what's coming up, what they're already planning to do, right? So that's great. And then they have a Patreon on here. I've never gone to it, but I'm pretty sure that's where you support the creator. So please go and support creators like this that build innovative tools to help us progress throughout the game and keep it free for everyone. I'm absolutely certain that there are costs to hosting this website, and aside from the time that this individual puts in to build all of this, think about it and plan it, right? It's actually costing him money to publish this and have it here for you and host the site. So if you can support him in any way, you can contribute, please do, right? Because this is a wonderful tool and it's what keeps it up for everyone to be able to use. And finally, you have a change log for anything that's changed in the site, and you can see what was the last thing they did, when they did it, the version of the site, right? Some information. But isn't this an amazing site to use, right? I'm gonna be using it for my fusion. This is the best tip I can give everyone for the Mavara, the web diviner fusion. Go and use this to plan your fusion. Once you get into the second half of the fusion event, if you want to skip anything, that's when you should be saying, oh, I actually have time to do everything. I can now skip something. Do not go out there and plan to skip stuff on the first week. Don't say, oh, I'm not going to do the second part of the champion training because there are available points, right? Because there's a good chance something's gonna happen in your schedule, something's gonna interrupt it, and then you'll miss you'll miss an event, you'll miss a tournament, and then you'll miss the entire fusion because you skipped something earlier, right? Like I hate gear hunters. This takes a lot of energy and it doesn't seem to ever move for me, right? So I wish I could skip it, but if you skip something like this early on, then you're on a very, very tight schedule. And I don't know what your schedule's like, but I have a kid, I have a family, I have work, I have long commutes to work. There's very little time that I can dedicate to the game, and it's very hard to plan. So tools like this are really awesome and amazing for us to plan. Once again, the site is rsl-x.versal.app. And I'm going to put the link on the description. I'm going to put it on screen right now for you to see so you can get to it. This is the best tip I can give you for doing your fusion, heroes, path, Titan events. And even if you're not doing any of those events, to come and plan your grinding by using the tools like the efficiency lab, by using the champion index, and also by planning for your miniatures farming or mastery building. It's just a great tool to utilize. Don't miss out on it. Come and support the site, support the creator. That's the best advice I can give you. I hope you have a great fusion, you get the champion, and it's able to contribute to your account. Have a wonderful day, right? And I hope you have enjoyed this tip, and that if it's new to you, if you learned anything, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel so I can continue to give you content like this and bring new ideas to you. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks for watching, Raiders. Now if you can please share, like and subscribe, then go fight throughout Teleria.